Can I change my rating to 1 star? Should I do that? No!
Oh, dude, you got like the perfect handball ball. Do you ever play handball with these?
Let's do it right now. And I watched it. Beautiful, beautiful. It looks like I'm gonna like yours more than mine. Hello and good day. It is officially December 1st. I have my end of year TBR, which is its own separate TBR. That video is up if you do want to know what books are on that. But I have my holiday TBR, which is going to be all of the holiday books that I have bought over the past couple months. I'm excited to read all of them. They literally all sound so fun and so festive. There's some rom-coms in there. There's some like more heartfelt, heart-wrenching stories. I thought there's a little bit of a trend going on right now where they're wrapping their books in brown wrapping paper, numbering them, and then using a number generator to choose the books. And I thought I would do a little bit of a twist on it and wrap my books in Christmas paper, in Christmas wrapping paper, and then have my boyfriend blindly pick them for me. Or even like, you know, my family members, my dog. I could even try my dog. But I just want to try out this cute little idea. I'm going to go ahead and wrap all of my books right now. My holiday TBR will also be on my channel by the time you watch this video. So if you want to go check out the 21 books that I bought for the holiday season, go ahead and check out that video. Wow. This huge bag of books are all of my holiday books. I think this is going to be a really fun twist on this cool little trend that I've been seeing going around YouTube. And I'm excited. Of the books. Oh wow, it's been like an hour, but that's okay. I had a good time. And one thing's for sure, I'm definitely going to have the best wrap presents this year because I've gotten plenty of practice. I'm not gonna finish wrapping the other books yet because I bought some wrapping paper the other day and I want there to be like a bunch of mix of colors. I'm going to go to my boyfriend's later, so we'll get the wrapping paper from his house. Been a couple days since I've wrapped all of my books, and I even got my other wrapping paper from my boyfriend's house. Here is the final look. I also have my book cart all set up. I thought I would have my boyfriend pick out the first 2 or 3 books that I read this month. Baby, it's your cue. Do you want to introduce yourself?
What do I call you?
What do I call me?
Yeah.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah. That's my girlfriend. I'm her boyfriend.
So basically, I've already explained to you what I'm gonna do. I've wrapped up all of the books, the holiday books that I want to read this month, and I figured I'd just have you randomly pick from the stack. So I honestly don't remember which books are which.
I feel nervous.
Why do you feel nervous? Don't feel nervous. I'm excited. I'll just let you browse through.
I don't know.
Okay. You want to pick them all at once? Cute. So it looks like you picked a shorter and a medium-sized book. I appreciate that. Which one should I open first? This one? Ooh, okay. So you picked A Season of Second Chances. And from what I read from the back, it's basically about this like older woman. Her and her husband divorce, and she goes back to somewhere, Willow Bay. I don't know, we'll see, we'll figure it out. We'll open the next book. I appreciate that this one's a smaller book, it'll be easier to get through. This is 12 Men for Christmas.
What's good with these books, right?
This is by Philippa Ashley.
Who's picking these?
Pick one more. Don't be scared. Ooh, I wanted to read this book. So you picked Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. You know how in New York they have like the windows all decorated up for Christmas?
Right.
So she's walking by and she's looking at this store and she's like, I don't think they did a good job with this. Like they could have done so much better. And then next thing you know, I guess like the guy is like the owner of the store and he's like, well, I'll challenge you to like change up the window for us and like fix it. That sounds better, right? It doesn't sound as bad. Okay, so which one should I read first? The Window Shopping? Okay. I like that. I appreciate that. Well, thank you for helping me with this portion of the video.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, that was great.
Roll it. Crying. There's no way. There's no way. Today I thought I would update you guys on how this little reading challenge has been going for me. This would be the first time that I've actually formally updated the vlog, and I've gotten through a couple books. Thus far in the first week of December, it's currently December 9th at the time of me filming this, I have finished 6 books. So first I'll talk about the books that I've read on Kindle. First I read The Holiday Hunt, which was just like a really short novella. It was only 71 pages, nothing crazy, but it was a little short story. So the female protagonist, I forget her name already because I've already read so many books, but she kind of has this huge crush on one of the local guys in her town, and everyone kind of knows it, and she feels like she's dropping hints. He ends up dating another woman, and then it flashes forward to another year. He's since broken up with the woman. The girl is kind of feeling a little bit slighted because she thought that she made her feelings rather clear. There's a huge holiday hunt or like scavenger hunt that she's putting on for her town and the kids in the town and everything. He decides that he wants to partake in the holiday hunt, and he does so. And then like at the end, I think he like proposes to her or something, or I don't know, but it was just like a cute little holiday short story, and I think I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. And the reason why is because like I wanted more. I found myself wanting more. I found myself smiling. I liked it. I enjoyed the author's writing style, and even though it was short, I feel like it gave me exactly what I wanted. Next, I read 'Tis the Season for Revenge, and I read this on Kindle. I literally read the first chapter and I instantly bought it on paperback. I really thoroughly enjoyed this book. Like, this book had me like, I liked it a lot. Abby is a girl, so like literally the first chapter, getting ready to go to this holiday party with her boyfriend, her long-term boyfriend of 4 years. She gets in the car, he looks at her and like scoffs and goes, "What are you wearing?" Ends up breaking up with her. Tells her that I don't think that this is serious. She calls her friends, they come over, they're like, "We're gonna bring tequila and 5 guys," which, that combo, okay, I see you friends, you know exactly what to go to. I love like the friend group in this book, but she ends up deciding that she's going to get back at him by getting with his boss, which is very interesting. And then like the way it kind of happens is a little bit cringy. It was like a little bit odd, like why it was a little bit too easy how it all happened. But then the relationship that ends up sparking between the two, I loved it. I really did love it. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. The ending fell just a little bit flat for me. It was a little bit like rushed in my opinion, but I get it because like the point of the story was the point of the story. Then I finally finished The Atlas 6. I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars. This was really good. I really enjoyed the vibe of the book. I really have been enjoying like dark academia books. This book did a lot. It was really good. I enjoyed it, and I found myself really excited to read it. Rated it 4 out of 5 stars because it leaves on a little bit of a cliffhanger in a way, or like suspense, and like you don't really know what's going on. You don't really know what's happening. That makes sense because The Atlas Paradox has since been released. It was confusing at sometimes, and that also like the fantasy aspect of it wasn't as convincing for some people. I personally am not like a big fantasy reader. I haven't gotten into fantasy that much and or like magical realism. I really am excited for The Atlas Paradox. Started this the 22nd of November and I finally finished it on the 5th. Oh, I was talking about the books I read on Kindle, but I guess we'll just talk about books in the way I read them. Next, I read The Elle Project, and The Elle Project I read on Kindle. It was a really cute short story. I think it was maybe just under 200 pages, around 12 chapters or so. This book is about a girl named Elle. She's like 28 or something like that, and she's like a big family, and she's going home for Christmas, and like her family's like demanding, "You have to come home for Christmas. Oliver's gonna be here, da 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 da." Learn that Oliver is a family friend. They all grew up together, like her brothers and her and Oliver all grew up together, so they're very well familiar with each other. But the family has definitely been like pressuring them or just like insinuating that like they're gonna end up together, that like they're meant for each other, and so they constantly are like, "Oh, like are you gonna hang out with Oliver?" And it puts this pressure on her that overwhelms her. So she comes up with this plan to come up with like a fake boyfriend, and has her friend calling her up and pretending that she's her fake boyfriend so that she can get her family off her back, but ends up finding out through some interactions that she might actually enjoy Oliver's company more than she realizes, especially on like a romantic level. Then there's just some really cute scenes that happen throughout the book, and by the end of it they get together and it's really cute. I don't know, I loved it. I have been enjoying or learning to appreciate those books that are like not spicy or unnecessarily spicy for no reason. This was just like a really cute holiday romance book and I loved it. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know if I said that. Then I read Resting Scrooge Face, which was a super short story. I think it was like 87 pages. Not very long at all. This is also on Kindle Unlimited. The book cover itself is super cute. I'll make sure I pop everything up on the screen. This is by Meghan Quinn. This is about a male protagonist who one day writes a letter talking about how he's not a huge fan of Christmas, yet he lives in this big Christmassy town that's constantly decked to the walls and halls with holly. whatever the saying is. So he writes this letter just kind of writing about his distaste for Christmas and his reasons why. He crumbles it up, throws it away, and in the letter he talks about one of the reasons why he particularly is not enjoying this Christmas time season in this particular year is that his ex is back in town, the one that got away. So his best friend ends up giving it to the ex, but it's addressed anonymously. He signs it as resting Scrooge face. So whenever she reads it, she has no idea that it's the guy. So she reads it, resonates with it, and ends up writing back. Gives the letter to Arden, who's the best friend, who then delivers it back to Caleb, who's the guy. So like they have this correspondence back and forth. The whole time we obviously know that they're talking to each other, and they also have some interactions throughout the short story where they're like in the same room or talking to each other, coming across each other, and they still don't know that each other is like their pen pal. As the story goes on, they slowly reconcile a little bit, and then he comes clean about being resting Scrooge face, and it was a cute little story. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I rated this particular book 3 out of 5 stars simply because I read and fell in love with The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, which is literally the exact same premise but a Halloween edition and like fantasy style, and that book just was a little bit more in depth, more thorough. I felt more connected to those characters, and it literally felt almost the same. Like I literally was reading it like this person literally must have read The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy and then just like wrote the Christmas edition of it, and I'm not saying that she did, but it was very similar. Because of that, and because I'm already so connected to that other story, I only rated this 3 out of 5 stars, but I did appreciate it for what it was, and it was cute. Ugh. Then I read Window Shopping. This was the first book out of 3 that my boyfriend picked for this little reading challenge, and I guess I forgot to say at the beginning of all this, yes, I'm staying true to my physical book TBR. I'm personally picking and choosing and controlling which reads I read on my Kindle. I want to be able to have that flexibility at least in one area of my reads, because my TBR, my physical TBR for December is so like at random. I don't want it to feel restrained. I want to be able to have somewhat of some control, because these first 3 books I wasn't necessarily super excited for. Actually, this book I was super excited for, and I was pleasantly surprised by how disappointed I was. Such a beautiful book for such a terrible story. Like, it just did not do it for me. I don't know why I was so excited. I've heard about Tessa Bailey's books, like I want to read some of them. This book was just like quarantine thrown up in your face with insta love. I mean, the constant references to the pandemic and 2020. They had the auntie doing the renegade. They were talking about renegading as a verb. You got me f***ed up. You can't be serious. Yeah, no, I definitely did not take this book seriously. I could not take the author seriously. There's no way she took herself seriously. I rated this 2 out of 5 stars. I almost gave it a 1 out of 5 stars. The reason why I managed to give it a 2 out of 5 stars is because the last chapter had the most substance, and only just for a short moment. Stella and her best friend, Nicole, that was just slightly intriguing, but I just couldn't take it whenever like she was like having this like conversation with the best friend, and then she's thinking, oh, she can't wait to have Aiden's face pressed in her neck. Like, girl. That's infatuation. I don't think that's healthy. I had super high hopes for this. I might even can I change my rating to 1 star? Should I do that? So those are the books that I've currently read thus far in this reading challenge. I'm having a good time, actually. I feel like these shorter reads like kind of boost my morale a little bit, and it feels good to have completed those books in this amount of time. So far, I still have these 2 reads to get to. I'm currently reading A Season for Second Chances by Jenny Bayliss. I think this book is interesting so far because I can tell the author is from the UK, just based on her writing style, on the things that she chooses to say or chooses to have the characters say. It's very interesting, and I like that, and I think that's also why I liked the Atlas 6. I'm currently 10 chapters into this book, which is 50 pages, and I've just been reading this morning. Another thing that I'm liking about this book is that the chapters are relatively short. I appreciate that whenever a certain scene or a certain instance kind of comes to an end, the author chooses to end the chapter rather than just like breaking the page. I feel like it allows me to mentally get through it because it is a bigger book, and I think that I was avoiding picking it up at first because I thought it would take a lot of time, and I figured if I'm going to be doing this challenge, I want to make sure that I get the most out of it, and I also want to challenge myself with my schedule and everything going on to read as many books as I possibly can. That's my current update for now. I appreciate you for joining me in this little week 1 edition of this little reading challenge that I'm doing. So if you got to this far in the video and you've seen everything else beforehand, I appreciate you for watching this far. These are the books that I've physically gotten through so far. We've talked also about the books that I've gotten through on my Kindle. I'm excited to continue on this journey. December TBR reading challenge. I'm having so much fun, and I'm excited to see what else the surprising TBR has in store for me. I will see you guys in my next little update, in my next video. Happy holidays!
Every day, every day, every day, I just another.